Peace, 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 beautiful souls. Let's see. Peace. Yeah, they're not going. Peace, peace, beautiful soul. Supreme rising, everyone. Supreme rising. Hope that everyone rose with some beautiful, beautiful intentions. We're rising with beautiful, beautiful intentions. How we want our day to be. Supreme rising. How we want our day to be on our own initiative and not constantly inundated by the news, so that they can set the tone of how they want your day to be perceived. We have to move on our own initiative. I just wanted to come on here this rising as another word of inspiration in us taking our own will, moving by our own accord every single day of our waking life, being the narrator of our own story and being moved by our own initiative. Because the power that we truly possess within our being is very, very powerful, very, very significant to our own personal waking moment, as well as the collective consciousness and our oneness. So it's time for us to take control over ourselves and not be moved by any narrative that takes us away from what it is that we want to see of ourselves. My platform here and many other platforms that are out, YouTube, Instagram, they want to control the narrative. And this is why social media is so potent, because it gives a broader range of controlling narratives, right? The narratives that are constantly inundated over and over again and again, that is a narrative that wants to be embedded into your subconscious to create that type of reality, the confusion and the chaos type of reality. And until we see it as such, we're going to be moved by those things and create things that we know not of. You see, our powers right now are just like learning how to ride a bike. When you first get on the bike, right, you have your coordination has to be one with the bike, right? You has to stabilize the bike, but you have to stabilize your mind first, right? And then once you stabilize your mind, then the bike becomes one with you. And you start stabilizing the bicycle, and the bicycle starts stabilizing you. And then you start to move in synchronicity with the bicycle, because your mind, right, has become one with the process, has become one with the bicycle, right? So this is how our powers are. One love, Sarah, beautiful soul, right? So this is how our powers are. We now have to become one with our powers, because we never really realized how powerful we were or we are. And it has become reckless in nature in terms of how we use it, right? Because we knew not of ourselves. So to get back into the process of becoming one with our powers and no longer moving in a reckless state of being because we know not of ourselves. The clues to understanding of a narrative that social media and all of these places want to control is the constant inundation of things that does not serve you purpose. Even in a state of awareness, it brings doom and it brings gloom, versus things like our videos, those who are showing you that you should take your own will. They shadow ban our stuff. And those videos that shows you that you are the power, they don't allow it to be shared. That is when you start to have a level of discernment to be able to identify the things that they want to control of your state of being in your mind and your power, versus the videos that are telling you to take the wheel and be your own narrator of your own story. It is just that important, because in order to be the change that you want to see, you have to understand the powers that you have, stabilize it, and become one with it, just like riding a bicycle now. It's just like riding a bicycle. You wiggle and you wobble and everything until you become one with it. You have to become one with it to stabilize it. And then now you have control over it. The same thing as an avatar with the dragon. Their tail and the dragon tail had to become one. It had to become one with it in order for it to stabilize, in order for it to share the consciousness. You have to become one with your powers. You have to understand what your powers are within your being and not allow it to be narrated externally from yourself. These are the times where we really truly have to move from our level of discernment. The true discerning aspect of our being that is going to show us within our soul being to be able to identify those entities and things and situations and stories that are being placed out before us to manipulate our energies, to create realities that we do not want to see. Media in our now moment creates our future. Creates our future in our now moment. And if they could get you to believe in the constant inundation of destruction and separation, and because they constantly inundate you with those things, it has the abilities to shift and change paradigms. So this is why it is important for you to take the wheel of your own situation, your own narrative. They shadow ban people like me. There are many of us that are out here saying this very same thing, for us to start to take control over our own narratives and not be moved by the constant inundation of things that are on social media that keeps us separated. It is very important that we understand who we are at the core of our being, our true powers, and become one with it. Otherwise, if we don't realize the true powers behind, in front, and within the powers that we have, we will always be creating a story based from an external narrative. Take the wheel. Take ownership and responsibility of your powers. Become one with your powers, the knowing of your powers, your consciousness, your ability to travel multidimensionally, to create a reality in this illusionary world for you to have an experience. Understand and understand that experience that you create should be that of one of your own creation, by your own thoughts, by your own narrative, not by something that wants you to create a reality because they have the inability to tap in dimensionally to the powers, to the energies and frequency to create it. And I'm going to constantly remind you of that, because I feel that that is the most important, significant part of all of this, is that we have to take the wheel. When they had that war in Ukraine, we said that that wasn't our problem. And because we didn't give it the energy and the frequency, no matter what they did, no matter how they tried, it wasn't our problem. And it didn't come out as much as it would have had we gone into it the way that they wanted us to go into it energetically. We didn't give it. The same thing with so many other things that are going on right now. CERN, we didn't give our powers to CERN. And you see what transpired. These are some of the things to give you an enlightenment of how powerful we are when we invest our energy into things. Then it manifests. It becomes bigger and greater because we are the power of multiplicity. Our energies and frequencies, it has abilities to multiply. We are the true power of multiplicity. We have to understand how very powerful we are. Right? And I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to always constantly remind you of the powers that you truly have, that you should create a beautiful experience from your own initiative of what it is that you want to see in your waking life, and not be moved by external things, external stories from entities that does not have your benefit and your favor in mind. We should truly know ourselves at the core of our being, the powers that we truly have. And just think about that bicycle. When you first got on a bicycle, it wasn't, it was all over the place. The kinetic energy was everywhere. But until your conscious mind became one with the kineticism of the physical being, the bicycle, and became one with it, it was then that there was synchronicity between you and the bicycle. Sending you beautiful love, Sarah. You know I love you immensely. Supreme Rising. Oh, gratitude. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your energetic exchange. This is what it really truly is. We are one. Each one teaches one. We are here to help each other, remind each other of who we truly are at the core, and who truly has the will, who truly has the power. And I am going to get on here every single day with all my might to remind you of the truth of who you truly are at the core of your being. We are beautiful, benevolent beings. We are not evil. We are not evil. We have been cultivated in this manner energetically because we knew not of ourselves, because we were vibrating at a frequency that was outside of ourselves. But now that the frequencies are here and we have arisen, we are here to remind each other. Oh, gratitude. You are my reflection, Sarah. I love you immensely. Gratitude. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go inside. And I want you guys to have an amazing day. And think about what I've just said. I was told that my videos are not able to be shared. But guess what? The sharing doesn't have to be utilized through this medium. You can just listen to me and just share my story. I don't need to be the face of anything. We are all the face of everything, because everything is us. I'm sharing an aspect of your being, a reflection of you. So we don't have to utilize these mediums to get the word across. Have a conversation with someone and just say, do you know how beautiful you are? Do you know how powerful you are? What it is that you would like to do today? What is your story? Let's have a conversation. I know what we've been told, but what it is that you would like to do today? We can have these conversations with each other outside of these mediums. You can still share a part of me, which is sharing a part of yourself outside of Instagram, outside of Facebook, outside of TikTok. It will bring us closer to each other, because the very power is us leaving these devices. And these conversations that I'm having now in our inspirational risings are the ones that we should be having with each other face to face, tangibly. Please, if you get a chance, listen to the audiobook called Word Magic by Paul Chang. Yes, I will. You can find this on YouTube. Ashe, I will, Sarah. I definitely will. So listen to this live, if it's allowed to be uploaded, so that you guys can hear. For you guys that are just coming in, welcome. Listen to this live. And then if it can't be shared on YouTube, or if it can't be shared on Instagram, share what I've said tangibly, face to face with someone. It can be shared. That is the greatest power of us connecting outside and holding each other's hand, shaking each other's hand, having conversation face to face. Grand raising, yes, grand raising and grand rising, supreme big heart, supreme rising. I'm going to end here now, but once again, I'm going to remind you of how beautiful you are. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul, having a physical experience. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul that is a beautiful expression of the all-knowing. You are opulence. You are abundance. You are the power. You are the synchronicity becoming one with the consciousness that support that power, that creates a reality that you want to see of yourself by your own creation, your own narrative. You are a beautiful soul, a beautiful expression of the all-knowing. Know thyself. Move in accordance to the knowledge of the knowing of who you truly are at the core of your being. We are one. We are one in consciousness, and a unified source that sources all of what you see. We just have to become in the correct frequency in our oneness to create a true reality that we truly deserve by our own creation. We are that power, and I'm going to constantly remind you of that every waking moment of my life. So peace be within you all. I salute to the divinity within you, and I will always, always see you in your highness. I love you all immensely. Have an amazing day. Love you guys. Later.